What's up everyone, the nominees are on the block and the veto competition, which has been the BB Comics, has been played and we have a winner of the power of veto. But who was it and what does it mean going forward in this week heading to the double eviction? We've got so much to talk about, guys, so welcome to your live feed update. Now folks, right before we get started, I just wanted to say I really hope everybody can hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and please hit the like button. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers, which, just saying it out loud, is crazy. I touched on this yesterday a little bit, but man, I mean, I am just unbelievably grateful to each and every single one of you who's shown support to me so far, whether you've just watched a video, liked it, subscribed to it. I appreciate every single last one of you, so love to you all. Thank you so much. But folks, we're not at 10k yet. We're trying to hustle to get there, so please, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And to help me out with the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm that is basically the Bermuda Triangle of YouTube that nobody understands, please hit the like button, because I know one thing for sure, the like button helps, and if you guys could hit it, that would mean an absolute lot to me. So folks, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. Alright folks, now let's talk about the veto competition. We'll jump right into it. Now of course, because there are only 6 house guests left in the Big Brother house, all 6 competed in the power of veto competition, which was indeed the world famous BB Comics comp. Now okay, so the winner folks of the BB Comics comp is Kyland. He has basically swept this week. He has won head of household and now he has won the power of veto, making him in total control of this week and the narrative of it. Of course, people have the power to vote, but he has controlled the nominees all week long with his nominations, and now he has the power of veto. But folks, what is he going to do with it, and what actually happened in the BB Comics comp? Now folks, something interesting to note is that it sounds like Big D actually came second in the BB Comics comp, so I don't know if this was a case, you know, big respect to him for coming second, but I don't know if it was a case of, you wouldn't expect it, would you? So I don't know if it was a case of many people throwing the comp. I wouldn't imagine Hannah or Tiffany would have thrown it, but I mean, props to him. I mean, you know, Big D hasn't been the strongest in comps, but for him to come second in BB Comics, which is quite a physical comp, I've got nothing but respect to him for that, so big respect to that. But of course, more respect goes to Kyland for actually winning the power of veto. Now, obviously, we will see on Wednesday night which comics each house guest got. That's a personal highlight of mine, seeing who has been named what, because, I mean, I think sometimes the comics that people get are just as good as a roast from Zingbot, because they can be very specific sometimes, and I like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what people have got. You can kind of hear them talking about it, but it's hard to pin on what everybody got until you actually see it on Wednesday. So that should be an exciting show to see who got which comic. But all we know for now is that Kyland has won the power of veto, and let's talk about what he actually plans on doing with the POV. Now folks, straight off the bat, Kyland does not plan on using the power of veto. It wouldn't make sense for his game. He did not set out to put a replacement nominee up and send them out the door this week. You can't even say backdoor this week, because everybody had a chance to play in the veto, meaning you cannot be backdoor to backdoor. For those of you who, because I do see a little bit of confusion sometimes. A backdoor, if you're going to be backdoored, you basically haven't had the chance to play in the veto competition, but of course it's the final 6, so everybody had the chance to save themselves, but only Kyland won the power of veto, so he plans on not using it, leaving his initial nominees being Tiffany and Hannah on the block. That's his plan, but will it actually go through? Because Tiffany and Hannah have both shown to be fierce competitors, and they both have plans up their sleeve on how to get Kyland to use the veto on them, so we'll talk about that shortly. Now, the house guests had their dinner later in the evening and they were sat around the table, and after they'd finished, Arza brought up the fact that they should have a moment of silence for 9/11, and of course that was showing great respect, and just that was really nice, you know, whilst you're in the middle of a game, and I do appreciate that whenever house guests kind of have a moment of silence or show respect for something such as big as 9/11, and whilst everybody is competing with one another and trying to beat each other out to win, it's just nice to see everybody come together, and they all held hands and sort of bowed their head for a minute, and held a moment of silence for 9/11. And of course, yesterday being 9/11, it's one of those days where it's kind of just, it's the whole never forget. You know, that's the 2 words that should always resonate around that, because it was truly an awful day, and it's just nice to see people taking a moment of silence to show respect. And yeah, and I mean, obviously I'm not even American, guys. I know you know, but I mean, it's huge, you know. It's something that was all over the world knew about it, but I'm sure as Americans it was a very, very difficult day. I mean, heck, I mean, I even find it a bit, it's a sad day for everybody, I think, but I mean, it was just nice to see people take a moment out of the game to kind of just go, let's show some respect. So, you know, and I know this isn't necessarily Big Brother related, but I'm going to finish this little clip off with, you know, guys, I'm going to say those words, never forget. Okay, let's talk about Hannah's plan in regards to Kyland using the veto on her. So she's going to pitch to Kyland, if you use the power of veto on me, going into next week, I will vote how you want me to. I will use the power of veto on you if you're on the block and, I somehow happen to come into power with it. And also, I'm going to offer a final 2 deal to you. So Hannah is really laying a game on the line there. But listen, right, what I respect is the fact that she's not lying down and she's actually hustling. She's coming up with this business plan and saying, this is business plan sounds stupid, but it is business. There's money at the end of it. It is a business pitch. It's essential to that. And she's saying this, and really kind of trying to offer Kyland a deal that he can't refuse. And listen, he could easily. I know it sounds nasty, and it's no disrespect to Hannah, but he can beat out Hannah in a comp a lot easier than he can maybe Xavier for that matter. But I think Kyland doesn't necessarily have the guts to put Xavier up on the block this week, because it would be a huge move. I mean, for me, if he did it, I would go, damn, Kyland is a front runner now to win the game. I don't see him as a front runner right now because I think his social game has been very weak and his physical game has been, or his, I guess, comp game has been very, very strong. And I feel like you've got to have components of all to kind of win the game, or to have. Well, you don't necessarily have to have components of all to win the game. I think to be a respected winner, you have to have components of all, or at least show extreme dominance in one area. And whilst he has shown dominance slightly in the physical area of the game, I don't think it's been enough to go, oh my god, do you remember Kyland who won all those comps in Big Brother 23? We're not going to be talking about that in 5 years' time. We're going to be going, oh, do you remember Kyland who won HOH a few times and you had it dictated by Sarah Beth? I feel like that's kind of what people will remember Kyland as. So I would say he needs to make that big move. Listen, I know X is a great competitor, but we're down to the wire now, folks. Take the punch, you know what I mean? And listen, I know people go, he needs to keep X around to be the shield for him next week. He can make the right deals this week to make sure he is not the target next week. He can do that and send Xavier out the door. That is more than possible, but I just don't think he is kind of filtering that idea in. Kyland even talked to the cameras, I think it was yesterday, when he kind of said, I could be really, really dumb here and X could end up taking me out next week and I've missed the opportunity. Don't miss the opportunity, Kyland. Take X out whilst you can, because listen, this is how old school used to play and I respected them for it, and that's how we always ended up getting strong competitors at the end, because what happened was, if you were HOH, you wouldn't make a move that would please the house or please your allies. You'd make a move that would be beneficial to your game. Taking out Tiffany or Hannah isn't that beneficial. Yes, it removes somebody that's against you, but there is a bigger threat at hand, and it is Mr. Xavier. I know it sounds stupid, folks, but if y'all old school fans will probably agree with me at the fact of, if you become HOH, you take out the person who is the biggest threat in the house. No ifs, buts, or coconuts. You take out the person who is the biggest threat in the house, because guess what? That looks fantastic on your resume, and Kyland needs that right now, in my opinion. And also, just taking out the biggest threat makes people respect you as a winner, makes people respect you as a player. And like I said before, just because he's taken X out doesn't mean he's the automatic target next week. He can make the deals that he needs to, with the ones that Hannah's literally coming up to him saying, it's there on a silver platter for you. Kyland can make those deals and put himself into a good position next week and take out X this week. Now, in regards to Xavier, of course he's playing the game that he has been playing all season long, and it's very masterful and it's extremely social, in my opinion. I would say his comp game hasn't been impressive. I mean, he had the win in which, he's won a couple of vetoes, and the win last week in the double was the one that made me go, that was the one that really impressed me, because he did it in less than like a minute. That was crazy. But anyway, his social game has been the impressive one. He's been keeping arguments on the DL every single time drama happens. Guess who's there? It's Xavier, the crusher of drama, the crusher of entertainment. And I know it sounds stupid, but he does crush the entertainment in the fact that Big Brother viewers do enjoy watching an argument and people kick off, and X has always been the person as the lawyer to calm it down, which is a fantastic game. But as a viewer, we obviously want to see the arguments, so there's two sides to it. But either way, he was up there hyping Kyland up. Go on, Kyland, well done on winning the veto. You've been HOH, you've won the veto this week. He was hyping him up just like he should. He was being Kyland's personal hype man, and it's a good game. And guess what? Kyland's not going to think about putting X on the block when X is the one who's hyping him up. It's like we just talked there for about 3 minutes about how, X should be the target this week. But guess what? He's not going to be, because X is playing a good game and make sure he's in Kyland's good graces. Tiffany, let's move to Tiffany for a second now. Okay, so Tiffany began let's call it the apology tour, or just doing the rounds, and she was talking to Arza and making sure she was in good graces with Arza. Because, of course, if Tiffany ends up on the block this week, it would be nice for her to have Arza's vote, because listen, she's not going to get Xavier's vote, and she's not going to get Big D's vote. So at least you can try and solidify Ars's vote and then somehow work on the other two should the veto, or should the nominee stay the same. If Hannah comes off, then she's got Hannah's vote and potentially Ars's vote after that, keeping her in the house, sending Big D or X out the door, whoever would go up on the block. I mean, I don't know if Ars, it's difficult to say even if Ars would go up on the block, because then Tiffany might not still have the votes. It's just, there's so many scenarios, because Ars is playing both sides. She's playing a true floater game. No disrespect when I say floater, because I know people don't often, some people, I'd say the more hardcore Big Brother fans would know what I mean when I say floater, because floater is a skill in the game. June did it in Big Brother 4 and she played wonderfully. It was incredible. And whilst we're on the topic of June, actually, it just made me think of this. Jolene Lunza, who was my YouTube friend, she did a video with June the other day. And which is, that's mega. June is a legend of the game, so folks, go check it out. I'm sure a lot of you subscribe to Jolene Lunza already, but folks, definitely go check it out, and subscribe to Jolene as well. She's a great YouTuber. Let's get back onto the topic of the game. Yeah, so Tiffany's obviously doing those apology rounds, and I don't know if it's going to work. And the sucky part is the fact that Tiffany's hustled so hard to get the cookout this far, and she created it for her to go out first, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's the game of Big Brother, and if you don't position yourself in a good position, then you're going to be the first to go in the alliance. And I think it's safe to say Tiffany was playing more for the cookout than she was herself, and then you can look at other members of the cookout and say they were definitely playing for themselves rather than the cookout, and that's coming to light definitely most over the past couple of weeks. But folks, it's going to be interesting to see what actually happens this week, especially if Kyland uses the power of veto or not. I don't think it's going to happen, and if I was a betting man, I'd say Tiffany is leaving the Big Brother house this week. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I can't even get my words out there, folks. Who would you like to see? Oh my god, who would you like to see come off the block this week? If anyone, would you like to see the nominees stay the same? Basically, would you like Kyland to use the power of veto, and on who, if that is a yes? I know you're happy that Kyland is HOH again. Who's your favourite in the cookout? Who's your favourite in the jury? Who's your favourite in the pre-jury? There's so much to talk about when it comes to Big Brother, folks. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But folks, I'll say as I always do, make sure that you're staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there, and be kind to one another, okay? That's an important one. But folks, in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.